Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Rongan's podcast. I'm Dinesh Sagi, joined by Amar. Hey Amar, how are you?
Hello, how are you? All good?
Yeah, man, a little knackered, as you could see. Been on a
What
nice
happened? Where were you?
vacation in Puerto Rico. Yeah, chilling on the
Oh,
beach and like
nice.
sipping cocktails, and yeah, it was great. It was great. Couple of days. Well, I was away on Sunday, and
Are
I
you sure
stayed
it was
over
a couple
till.
of days?
Yeah, it was 4 days. 4 days. Yes, I left on Sunday, and I returned last night
Yeah,
back to snowy Jersey. But yeah, it was a break I
yeah.
desperately needed, to be
Maybe
honest.
you missed 2 days after a few drinks.
I probably missed, but unfortunately, or fortunately, we had Rian with us, so he won't let us forget any
Mm,
days. He keeps us busy. But yeah, anyone out there, like who likes nice outdoor, vacation, who enjoys like beaches and stuff, I'd highly recommend Puerto Rico.
yeah.
Great food and wonderful beaches. So they have this all small islands all across, which you
Hmm.
can get around very easily. So
Yeah.
yeah. So it was a good break. It has been eventful. I don't want to go into too many details, but yeah, it was a well deserved break, I suppose.
Good.
What's
Good.
happening with
From
you?
a break to
We
now, just saying that you're back from chill, relax holiday to action-packed Champions Trophy.
Absolutely, yeah. We sort of missed out on a couple of episodes in the last few days. I know it kind of started on the 19th, obviously, the first game between New Zealand, Pakistan, and then there's another game between India, Bangladesh yesterday. So yeah, a lot to sort of catch up on. Maybe without further ado, let's get started on the opening game of the tournament. Obviously, Pakistan, the host, had the opportunity to obviously open the series with New Zealand. Quick summary for our viewers, right, in terms of the scorecard and how the game sort of unfolded. So New Zealand batted first, 324-5 in their 50 overs. Will Young, who's been on and off, in the team for a while now, showed a lot of promise. Obviously, he scored 107 of 113 balls, 12 fours and a six. And then, a couple of disappointments in terms of Conway, Williams, and Mitchell, three early wickets. But then Tom Latham, the ex-captain, chipped in with 118 of 104, and then a brilliant knock from Glenn Phillips, 61 just of 39 deliveries, three fours and four sixes at a strike rate of 156, which actually helped New Zealand get to the target they want to be. So maybe quickly, let's start with the early wickets and obviously the partnership between Will Young and Tom Latham.
Yeah, I mean, it was going to be an exciting start. Pakistan, the hosts, they have been waiting for this opportunity for a long, long time, and to host an ICC event after so many years.
Mhm.
So they were looking forward to it. Fans were all, super excited, and they were kind of showing promise that the Pakistan would perform well as well.
Mhm.
But we can talk about their performances later on. But this was
Mhm.
the build-up, and of course, when toss happened, Pakistan won the toss, elected to field first. You can say that decision was maybe not right, but when New Zealand were batting, it looked like they were a well settled batting lineup.
Mhm.
Will Young up front scored 107, amazing shots. He was, he played really, I would say, an innings that was uh, worthy of the start of the tournament.
Mhm.
Very well balanced. He was picking up the gaps, and also, I would say he took advantage of Pakistan's inability to keep the line and length. I mean,
Mhm.
they were off color a little bit, but he took on the opportunity there, and he was scoring around the ground really.
Sure.
Um, Devon Convoy, he was unlucky.
Mhm.
Yeah, he was. He came down the track and then he missed a ball from Abrar Ahmed, and then he was clean bowled. So, but
Mhm.
we have seen him what he can do previously. So I'm pretty sure he will come back. Kane
Mm,
Williamson again. He yeah, played a shot, but he was caught off Naseem Shah. So
mhm,
again, he couldn't start the tournament with big runs there. But
mhm,
he's a match winner. He will come back again. Daryl Mitchell there again. He tried to give a stand with Will Young, made
mhm,
10 of 24. But then again, when Haris Rao was put in, then he straight away took Daryl Mitchell's wicket.
mhm,
Um, Tom Latham, um, another centurion. He scored 118 of 104 balls.
mhm,
He actually, played shots around the ground. He scored
mhm,
10 boundaries and three sixes. He took on the bowlers, and really, really good innings together with Will Young.
mhm,
So Pakistan could have kind of, they thought they would capitalize on the early wickets which they took, but
mhm,
uh, Tom and Will, they made sure that they play a long innings.
mhm,
They constructed the innings in a way which in the middle overs they were rotating the strike. They were picking up odd boundaries, and also supported by, I would say, or helped by Pakistan's uh, uh, you know fielding, which was not top notch. So
mhm,
we can say that they took a really good advantage of that.
mhm,
So a brilliant century by Will Young and a brilliant century by Tom Latham. Of course, Tom Latham later on in the innings, towards the end of the innings, um, he kind of start attacking because they had to go to cross. They had to go over 300. At
mhm,
one point of time, it looked like the Pakistan bowlers had pulled it back, but
mhm.
then last 10 overs they scored. I think New Zealand scored well over 100 runs in last 10
They did.
overs, and,
Yeah.
and that's when you could say Tom Latham together with Glenn Phillips. They were kind of in an attacking mode.
Mhm,
So it was a very well rounded, very well constructed overall innings with Will Young giving a brilliant opening stand,
mhm,
and Tom Latham in the middle, along with Glenn Phillips towards the end, finished it
mhm.
really well. So it was a brilliant batting effort to see, and a good score of 320.
Yeah, no, absolutely right. And you made a good point about like Will and Tom Latham obviously building the partnership, right? Which is critical. A lot of players don't realize like when you sort of switch from that T20 format into ODIs, it's important to play through those middle overs, try and build a partnership, and then you can accelerate towards the end. Exactly what I think New Zealand managed to do. Unfortunate for Pakistan that someone the premier bowler Shaheen Shafridi hasn't picked any wickets because he's critical at the top of the order, right? He's someone who generally takes wickets at the top of the order, which he hasn't done. So that sort of put them in the back foot, and then Glenn Phillips, I was following some of the game online, and yeah, he took to the cleaners, like literally he was like smashing every delivery, and someone again personally, I'm a big fan of Glenn Phillips, and he's matured so much over the last couple of years, 3 to 4, I would say. Where he comes, he scores a quick fire 20-30. He can ball you 10 overs or 4 overs in a T20, and guy can fly any part of the ground you put him.
He did fly,
Yeah,
didn't he?
yeah, I was about to
He
say,
did
as
fly.
he approached the batting innings. So yeah, great, wonderful innings from Glenn Phillips. But yeah, 320 was always going to be a difficult chase. But then we've seen just before this series, there was a triangular series between South Africa, Pakistan, and New Zealand, where Pakistan managed to chase 350 plus against a South African attack. Maybe slightly inexperienced, but obviously when it comes to New Zealand, it's not the same, right? They've got some premium bowlers, within their lineup. But yeah, 320 was always going to be a difficult chase as we anticipated. In terms of the bowling, right? It's very important to call out. Obviously, it's just the first game, early days, but Shaheen Shafridi hasn't picked any wickets. He considered 68 of 10 overs. Or most importantly for me, Harris Roth. Now, someone they sort of trust a lot for him to deliver in those middle overs and obviously in the end. But he considered 83 runs of his 10 overs, which Personally, I think it's a worry if you're a Pakistan fan.
It is a worry, and of course we look at the stats and we look at how
Mhm.
many runs a bowler has given and hasn't
Mhm.
taken wickets. Um, like I mentioned in the start that maybe they were off color, but this is also a factor of how the batsmen are reacting to them. We
Mhm.
saw that up front. Will Young, did disrupt their line, um,
Mhm.
and and uh, um, and we didn't get much help from the pitch either. So these
Mhm.
are really good bowlers, but you
Mhm.
need a little bit of help from the pitch as well.
Sure.
And also, New Zealand batters had already played them in the Tri-Series tournament, and they knew which areas to attack. So they
Mhm.
were, they followed that plan. Looked like Pakistan didn't do that, and
Mhm.
also um, I would say that Rizwan didn't actually captain the innings really well. He
Mhm.
didn't make right bowling changes. He did not make um, changes at the right time. Eh, because you can see when at one point when the spinners were really doing well, he did not. He brought back Harris again,
Mhm.
and he did not finish the spinners quota of overs. So that
Yeah.
was really surprising, and that also put a lot of pressure on the fast bowlers as well. So
Mhm.
pitch was kind of helping. We saw turners um, from both sets of bowlers from the both teams,
Mhm.
spin bowlers. But then it's surprising that Rizwan didn't bowl enough of their spin bowlers.
No, absolutely right. And obviously, now as we sort of like look at the Pakistan's batting card, right? 320 is always going to be a difficult chase. You absolutely need a a bright start to even get anywhere close to that. And unfortunately for them, obviously, Fakhar Zaman, been injured so early in the game, in the innings, I should say, obviously didn't help their plans. So and then the most important piece I want to call out, like if you see the socials and everything, there's a lot of criticism against Babar Azam's innings. He scored 64 of 90 balls, 6 fours, 1 6 at a strike rate of 71, and then a couple of contribution from Salma Aga in the middle order with 42, and then Kushil Shah 69. But one of the pieces I want to call out is Fakhar Zaman been injured, who's meant to be your opening batsman. We know how good he is. Like, and he can attack, he can take to the bowlers. That could have probably helped someone like Babar Azam, who is a slow starter. He likes to play his way in and then probably start scoring quickly. That put pressure on Babar Azam, and then walked in at number three Rizwan, like we mentioned earlier, Glenn Phillips, took a blinder at point. So when you lose like three early wickets, do you think personally, like, obviously, you played a little bit of cricket yourself, and obviously you opened at the top of the innings. Do you think the approach of Babar Azam was actually right of like anchoring the innings, or you could have done anything different in terms of counter attacking and stuff?
Um, so to start with, there's a combination of factors that
Hmm.
impacted this run chase,
Yeah.
and one of them was the slow run rate of Babar Azam.
Hmm.
Now, it is very important to point out here that the New Zealand bowlers, the approach they took, is also
Hmm.
a big factor here. They
Sure.
bowled very very tight lines right from the
Hmm.
start, and they never let go. They never gave any loose balls. They were
Hmm.
always on the target, very tight lines, no wide balls, no short balls early on,
Hmm.
and they were bowling according to the pitch and according to the plan.
Hmm.
Now, saying that, when South Saki lost his wicket early on,
Hmm.
and Babar Azam, obviously he took upon himself that he would um, play through the innings.
Hmm.
That's the right approach, I would say,
Hmm.
for any opening batsman in an ODIs
Hmm.
setup, especially when that is a Babar Azam kind of player, or I would say Gill kind of player.
Hmm.
So he would do that. So he was doing that, right? But because New Zealand were bowling so tight,
Hmm.
they were not letting any singles go. And what Babar Azam should have done was he should have improvised a little bit to at least rotate the strike, because
Sure.
at that point of time when you're choked, it is very important that you don't bog down yourself. You kind of at least rotate the strike somehow. I mean, in
Mhm.
an ODI setup, you have loads of gaps, and you don't have the pressure of scoring runs as quickly as you do in T20. Of course,
Mhm.
T20 is a massive score, but
Mhm.
you don't need to score at a rate of say seven
Mhm.
upfront. In an ODI setup, you can score at a rate of four, or mostly five, but at a rate of four is also good when there is when the wickets have fallen and you need to build an innings. But to build
Mhm.
an innings, the most important thing is you rotate the strike. That was not done
Mhm.
early on by Babar Azam. So that was the criticism. I would say that's what I mean. Babar Azam bats in this manner
Mhm.
in any match. If you pick any match, he would bat this way. The
Yeah.
difference was that there were no other batsmen who were, staying there. There were a couple of early wickets. Rizwan
Mhm.
came and, as you talked about, Phillips, he was
Mhm.
flying. So he took that unbelievable catch. So
Mhm.
Rizwan fell off. Now, the other major factor was, well, let's see that again.
Mhm.
Tight lines bowled by New Zealand.
Mhm.
Two wickets fell quickly. Babar
Mhm.
Azam is a high strike rate batsman up front.
Mhm.
Now, we combined to that, the most important factor which impacted this match was Fakhar Zaman,
Mhm.
and they sent him to bat at number four, which was the
Mhm.
biggest mistake. Now,
Yeah.
at this point of time, Fakhar Zaman is injured; he
Mhm.
cannot run, and at the other end is Babar Azam,
Mhm.
uh, who is not a high strike rate batsman, and
Mhm.
because of the tight lines and amazing, fielders around who can fly even,
Mhm.
they are not giving any singles.
Yeah.
So all in all, this was like a bottleneck. They
Yeah.
could not make, and the car just came to a standstill. It cannot
Mhm.
could not move. So
Yeah.
it was a big mistake to send Fakhar Zaman up the order. If he was injured, if he was
Mhm.
not able to run, he should not have been sent. He should have been sent later on. Maybe if he was able to bat, then later on, maybe number six or seven, um,
Mhm.
because all he had to do, all he could do, was hit boundaries.
Yeah.
So he could not run. He could not rotate the strike.
Mhm.
Babar Azam was, he could not play his own game because he's a touch player. He
Mhm.
relies on timing, and he relies on taking singles. So it was a problem for Babar Azam as well. So he could not do that because uh, Fakhar Zaman could not run.
Mhm.
So all these factors made the run rate really slow, and they fell behind massively. I mean, they had lost the match in the first 10 overs when they were 22 for two,
Mhm.
and it's very hard to recover from that. I mean, after that, Salman Aga tried to make some recovery. Khushdil Shah was the kind of a batsman who kind of showed some promise. But other than that, the situation they created, Pakistan created, I think that
Mhm.
was the factor of their loss.
No, absolutely right. Once you sort of have that falter sort of start, that automatically puts pressure on rest of the team, and obviously Babar Azam, in his defense, he's already going through a lot in terms of he hasn't been scoring the way he should have been. That sort of put pressure on him, so he's trying obviously use this opportunity to play himself in, and then the injuries and everything else. But yeah, you made a very interesting point about Fakir Zaman. We know he's not able to run his intention, and he's an attacking player. So maybe Pakistan could have said to him, "Look, we understand you can't run. Just continue playing at the top, score whatever you can score. You get out, sort of thing." And could have maybe let him like an unleash. If they could have put some early runs in the first 10 overs when it's still a power play, because bringing him in the middle of the order, like you pointed out, it didn't make any sense. Because that's when in ODIs you have to build partnership, and to build partnerships you have to take singles, you have to rotate the strike. That was not a possibility with Fakas
No, I
situation.
mean, the reason he did not come up the order, he could not open, was because he was not allowed to, because when he was
Yeah, he was away.
injured, he
Right,
was
fair
away,
enough.
so
Yeah.
he could not bat for the first 25 uh,
Sure.
minutes of the match,
Of
and
course.
within those 25 minutes, 2 wickets fell.
Mhm.
So the uh, only thing they could do was either they sent him at number 4, or later on they decided
Yeah.
to send him at number 4, which
Mhm.
was a disaster really. That decision should not have been taken. Whoever took it,
Mhm.
they have to think about that. One of the
Mhm.
other important things I wanted to mention was when you asked about Babar Azam, and
Mhm.
one of the important aspects of batting, and
Mhm.
he would know that as well, that um, you have to disrupt your the bowlers,
Mhm.
whoever is bowling. They were bowling tight lines, New Zealand, so he should
Mhm.
have done something to disrupt the line, and
Yeah.
because he didn't do that,
Mhm.
he was bogged down. He was put into shackles.
Absolutely. And let's not forget the bowlers, right, from New Zealand. Matt Henry, 7 overs, 2 for 25. Will Rocky, 3 for 47 off his 9 overs. That sort of did the damage at the top of the order. And Michael Bracewell, 10 overs, 38 runs, just at an economy of three. Satner, the new skipper for New Zealand, 3 for 66, and Nathan Smith also chipped in 1 for 20. But yeah, maybe a quick word on Satner. We all know, like, his bowling action and his demeanor and everything kind of represents Daniel Vittori, and now he took over as captain just before the Champions Trophy in the triangular series, won the series against Pakistan in the final, and then sort of carry that form into the Champions Trophy, big game, opening game of the Champions Trophy, playing against a host, and to sort of like make a statement is massive.
Yes, and good that you mentioned about Daniel Vittori, because I've never, until he retired, I've never seen a New Zealand team without Daniel Vittori. He was the face, and after retirement as well, he was always there in the dressing room. So you know, and that's what is happening with Santner as well. I mean, he has been playing forever, ever since, and now he's the captain. And he's a performer. He gives you those wickets. He gives you those economical overs every time in every
Mhm.
match, regardless of the conditions. So he's kind of a locker in a bank, if you say. He's very safe. You always get that performance, and because of that, he has earned that respect, and that's why he gets that respect from his teammates as well.
Mhm.
And in this match, of course, it's a very good start for him. And to be honest, he didn't have to do too much here. Even
Mhm.
when he came on to bowl, you could see that he was flighting the ball as if, come on, Babar, come on, do something about it. Just try and hit it. Um, so Pakistan in this match just fell on their own. I mean, New Zealand just bowled to their areas. They were not disturbed by any of the Pakistani batsmen, and they just did what they wanted to do. And so I would say this was one of the easier wins of Santner.
Absolutely. And like you pointed out, like early days, even for both teams, like, just the first game, a lot to kind of look forward to. So, in terms of the next couple of games, it's obviously, New Zealand's going to play Bangladesh on Monday, the 24th. But before that, obviously, Pakistan's going to play India. Really, really big game. One, in the context of, like, the two nations, and two, obviously, the context of what's at stake for Pakistan after losing the first game. Anything you think they should be doing different for the India's game?
Well, first of all, the news is that there is a replacement of Fakhar Zaman. Fakhar
Yes, in
Zaman
fact.
is out for the tournament. So
Mhm.
Imam ul Haq has been announced as his replacement.
Mhm.
Imam has a very good record in ODIs. I mean,
Mhm.
not against India, but
Mhm. In
he
general,
has
yeah.
got good average in general.
Yeah.
So that is a good sign. Now,
Mhm.
one thing they have to improve on is their run rate. They can't play like this, because that's not how an ICC tournament should be played. Because there are other teams who will not let you win, or they will lock you down. Really, that's what happened to
Mhm.
Pakistan, and especially with India, you have to be up on your toes. You have to be thinking ahead, and most important in this tournament, or any ICC tournament between India and Pakistan, it's about nerves. Just forget what has happened.
Mhm.
Be in the present. hold your nerves, be confident. Otherwise, it's not gonna get you anywhere there.
Absolutely. No, it's sort of a lot to look forward to, right? So we sort of hope, like the changes in the Pakistan squad, and obviously the change in the setting as well. Obviously they're going to play away from home in the second game in Dubai, which probably home for them as well, because of this lot of time they spend there during, like those years when obviously there's no games in Pakistan. So they should be very familiar with the conditions. So let's hope Pakistan do find some magic and see how the second game unfolds. But yeah, thank you, Amar. It's been a good catching up again, and as we kind of move forward, we start reviewing the next couple of games as well. And for our viewers,
So,
again, personal, opinions, anything you want to share, like any feedback, we'd be more than happy to take it on. But yeah, thank you for your time today, and we look forward to future games as we sort of unfold the series. Have a good one.
say
Cheers. Bye.